So, welcome everyone to our third episode of the second season of the Female Leadership series. I am very happy to be here, not alone again. I'm with Ksenija and Zhidnyaza today. Ksenija, who will be our speaker, and Zhidnyaza, who will be our moderator of the day. And today we will talk about communication, or how to own and drive your career with communication. As always, I will share my screen. And I hope you will see it now. So, as I said, it's the third episode already of this season, and we will have another 3 later next year. And before I start talking about the episode itself, I would like to present the two communities that are organizing together these events. We have the innovators community, which I am part of, and Zhidnyaza is part of. We are both part of Germany, Austria, and Switzerland region, and we are presenting the EIT Health Innovators community. And EIT women, who are with us as well to organize these events. So who is EIT Innovators community? We are we were formerly called the EIT Health Alumni, and now we are part of the big community that is comprised by all the EIT, or European Institute of Innovation and Technology communities, and we are representing the health sector. So what do? We have a big platform, and we want to really give you some learning experience from experts, networking experience, even getting hired, or even being a mentor. And right now we are more than 3,200 members community, and we are constantly growing. And to be part of our community, all you have to do is just to be present in one of our events or being part of one of our programs. And EIT Women is a network that activates the power of women in European innovation, entrepreneurship, and technology, and drives positive change in the topic of gender equality. So what do they do in their community? They are trying to change this leadership gap. So in the EU, managers are twice more likely to be male, while in major publicly listed EU companies, only 6.3% of the CEO positions are female. They want to change the pay gap, as about 80 cents for every euro are earned by women. And the investment gap. So all female founding teams receive 2% of the capital invested, compared to the 93% of all male teams. And how do they want to do this, is by mentorship programs, upskilling and networking events, and even by the ambassador programs. So join our both communities later. And right now I would like to hand over to Zhidnyaza and Ksenija for this third event, and I hope you will enjoy it. Zhidnyaza, the stage is yours.
Thank you. So I can share my slides. I hope everybody can see them. Perfect.
Yes.
So, yeah, thank you so much for this confirmation. And thank you so much, Liana, for a nice introduction. I'm very happy to host and moderate today's talk on own and drive your career with effective communication. So, don't we all agree that communication makes the world go around? I also believe that it facilitates human connections and allows us to learn, to grow, and progress in our career. Moving forward, I want to introduce myself. I'm Zhidnyaza, and I work as a business development manager at a biotech firm in Heidelberg, Germany. I'm a biologist by training and associated with EIT Health Innovators Community as a local representative in the DACH region since the beginning of 2022. So, before we begin, I just wanted to give you all an overview of our agenda and maybe introduce Ksenija. I hope I do it rightly. And she's here to give us 5 key tips on effective communication. So, I'm really looking forward to it. After which there will be a QR code for the feedback survey form, and I can also tell you how you can do it. It's pretty easy. Followed by a Q&A session, and you will have a one-on-one opportunity to network with Xenia and also to any of us at the backstage at the online networking event. But meanwhile, if you want to also have, if you want to just write your questions, you can type them in the chat section. So this is also very easy. If you want to get in touch with me via LinkedIn, I have also put in my QR code because aren't we all doing that in today's trend? So, okay, moving further, today we have joining with us Ksenija Prekovic. She has studied, lived, and worked on 3 continents. She not only brings multicultural perspective to the crucial life topics, but also helps behavioral and personal development. She's a certified business assessor, a public speaker, and she's currently working as a talent manager at Belfinga. She has been in the industry of talent assessment and development for over 20 years, where she practiced project management, human resources, and talent acquisition. Her inputs are based on both behavioral science and practice, as well as a practical business experience. So, in her own words, her driving force is her passion to support people to reach their inner potential. And thank you so much, Senia, for joining us today. And I look forward to learning further your tips on effective communication.
Thank you, Jed.
Over to you.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Just give me a second till I start the slides. Okay. I think everybody can see the slides. Okay. So Jit has already introduced me. Well, I'm very happy to be here today. As she mentioned, one of the things that I really am passionate about, and I think I'm one of those people who are lucky to have a chance to practice one of their passions as their career, is to try to share the knowledge and perhaps give you a tip or two that's gonna steer you towards getting to your potential, to your full potential. One of the ways to do this is to own and drive your career with effective communications, and this is what I plan to share. And this is, as you can see, the agenda. So very simple. I'll do some presenting. After that, we put quite a bit of time for Q&A session. So I would very, very much appreciate your questions. They are very, very welcome. Please feel free to type them at any time in the chat, and obviously at the end we will also address them. But at any time the chat's there. I'm happy to do that. Okay. So today, this tips how to communicate for success. What really I plan to share, I would like to share with you is how to communicate successfully to own and drive your career. First of all, what do I really mean with that? So I'll share that with you. But then also, what are the necessary must-haves for you to be able to drive your career? And I'll try to share practical tips and examples to inspire you and also help you grow. But before we start, can I just maybe give you a stage and ask you if you can share with us in the poll here what is your target career? What do we, let's realign a little bit. What kind of career are you envisioning for yourself? And Jid has already shared the poll, so perhaps you can answer.
It's amazing that so many of us are interested in management positions, including myself, of course.
Okay. Okay, the polls. Okay. And okay. Well, I think that's, this is, I've just now saw the answer, and it is, I don't know if can we share the poll? Is that okay? Can we share the results?
Yes, the polls are
Yeah.
already set. We can all see it.
Okay. So, good. Yeah, I'm very happy to see that the management position. This is lots of what people are interested in. I guess a little bit surprising for me. I think maybe I expected a little bit more balanced result, but it's here. It's good to understand. If that's the case, then I can certainly give you the practical advice from the management position. To be fair, also a consultant. I worked in the consultant industry as well, but this is good to know. Okay, so management position, and we talked about let's own and drive my own career. And the first step to own and drive is own it. What do I mean with own it? Well, take it seriously. You see here where it says me.incorporated? Well, if you took seriously your career, your own growth, and your own development, like a real project, like a real company, or maybe your master thesis, and you invest as much time as effort in it, you are sure to succeed. And on the other hand, without it, you simply cannot. This is not something that accidentally happens. To own, to make sure that you succeed in what you want, you very simply have to take it seriously. And the way to do this is think about yourself as your own career manager. And what do I mean with this? Well, if you think somebody else is your career manager, well, think again. If you think, for example, that your, college career counselor is your career manager, or maybe your boss or your HR, if you're already in a position, well, think again. If you, God forbid, think that your spouse or your friend is your career manager, absolutely then think again. The only person who is in charge is you. You are your own career manager. You own it, and you need to prioritize and invest to make it happen and for this to be successful. But what do you invest in? What are the topics, what should I work on to make myself successful? What skills and competencies are important for me to acquire? Well, first of all, you need to think of what makes you you. What is ideal career for you? For me, I ended up in human resourcing because this is something that interests me. As I said, I want to help people, support them to realize their potential, first to understand their potential, and then realize their potential. So this is what's important. Think a little bit, spend your time with yourself and like reflect and focus. But also what's very important is to ask for input and feedback from your friends, from your colleagues, from people you trust. Why? Because people you trust, your friends, they see your different sides. They, in what are us nerds in psychology, know, they know your blind spot or your blind side. And here I wanted to share with you, perhaps some of you know, Johari window. And Johari window was created by two psychologists, Joseph Luft and Harrington Ingham. And they used it to represent really two major dimensions. Number one is horizontal, what people know about ourselves, so what I know about myself, and on the other side, obviously, what I don't know. And on vertical side, what others see and know, or perhaps they don't. And as you can see, it's all split in four quadrants. And the first one, open side, is as it says here. This is open. This is like in public forum. This is what people who know you for 3 days know about you. So this is how we present ourselves, and this is how other people see us. So this is, I think, easy to explain. If you don't mind, if I can maybe then now go to the number 3, your hidden side. Again, I think this is easy to understand. This is what I know about myself and what others don't know. This is something I'm not willing to share, and which I keep private. The quadrant number 4, your unknown side. This is something that's really unknown for me and unknown for the others, so not really a topic of the feedback. The topic of the feedback, of the real good feedback, is the quadrant number 2, your blind spot. This is what I don't know about myself, I'm not aware, but what other people know or see. Or in short, this is how other people perceive us. And this is sometimes why when you get a feedback from your manager, or maybe if you ever done 360, you get so surprised, because sometimes we're just so focused on what we have about ourselves that we are not aware how other people perceive us. Maybe we think we are presenting ourselves as like very assertive, but other people don't see it that way. For them, it could be maybe either timid or aggressive. It depends. That's why it's important for the people to have a chance to share this with you. And obviously, there is a reason why I said trusted others. You really want the people who are you're close with to have a share to share this with you. Why is this important? Well, if you are thinking about your career, there are sometimes these hidden motivators that you are not aware of, and maybe others, by giving them your feedback, they can perhaps share light. So this was my step number 2. And now that we have reflected, we owned it, we decided we're going to take our career seriously. We have reflected and asked for other people what we want to. So we kind of have a goal towards which we're going to. What do we do next? Well, with this knowledge where we're going, the next thing is to arm yourself. And arm yourself to the teeth. Use every tool and weapon that you can, and make sure that your tools are up to date. So let's say that you're looking for a position. Do every research that you can. What's new in your industry? What's new in this position that you are interested in? How is this company working? What are the messages they're sending? What is new in your chosen field of interest? Update your CV by making sure that all the projects that you've done are there, that any new certificates that you have perhaps done recently, you have. Practice for your interview questions. Prepare good, positive answers for your potential interviews. Once you are shortlisted to this job, you will have to go for the interview. You need to be ready. And if I can give you just one tip, if you remember only one thing from today, remember this. Whatever question they're asking you, it could be, tell us about yourself, what made you interested in this job, why are you changing your career? That's not a question. They're not asking you that. What the people are asking you is, tell us, persuade us. They're begging you, persuade us that you are a right person for this job. So instead of telling them about how you started being interested in science when you were like super young or something, or I went to the school for the first time here and here, and I lived here and here. If it's not relevant, don't share. Give them something that's going to help them say, this person is sharing something that's matching what we are posted, that it's required. Every question you're answering by telling them why they should hire you, why you are the right person for this job. They don't care in which elementary school you went and what did you dream as a kid to work on, I don't know, offshore project or something, or to be a air hostess. They want to be persuaded that you can do this. Keep your eye on a ball. That's it. A last thing I mentioned here is update your LinkedIn. And obviously in Germany, we use also Xing. I mentioned here LinkedIn because LinkedIn is more internationally known. But in general, keep up with your social media profiles. And yes, be visible, but also be aware of what's visible. In today's world, there is no room for you posting photos where you were, drunk on a college party, on some kind of potentially problematic political comments, or you sharing your views on the racial discussion. These things can so easily be taken out of context. Remember, whatever you post there, maybe it's relevant now, maybe it's okay now, but it will be there forever. Keep your presence on the public media profiles very, very, very neutral. Okay. This was what I've just shared. So clean up your social media profiles, remove all those photos where you were drinking with your friends, with your college. Well, not when you're drinking, but when you're obviously drunk. And the last one is prepare your elevator speech. And you might ask, what's an elevator speech? Maybe some of you know, maybe some few don't. Elevator speech, the idea behind it, why it's called this, is that it's something crucial about yourself that you say so fast, as long as how long is the elevator ride. So it needs to be 2 or 3 sentences. How you pitch yourself the best. Why are you here? What are you searching for? Who are you in essence, and what you will bring? It needs to be very short and up to the point. And I would recommend that you try it out and kind of tweak it a little bit. It needs to be good, and it needs to be very easy to understand. And what I'm saying is this is very important, especially if you are trying to perhaps change your career, or you're interested in, like Jid said, maybe you're currently working in academia and you want to move to management, or in a management you were in one top position, then you took a gap year. That's fine. This happens. Life happens. People change priorities. This is okay. But it needs to be very simple and easy to understand, and needs to fit your elevator speech, your CV, your LinkedIn profile, your social media profiles. They all need to be aligned and say the same story. Okay. And the last one is, and you've heard this one before, practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. Practice with your friends, but also practice with yourself. You know what they say, practice in front of mirror. But also, I wanted to give you a tip is think of other job interviews as a practice. Maybe, you're not 100% sure you're going to take that position, but still apply. And if you're selected, go. Because the more you do something under the stress, the better you become at it. the more natural you will be when you come to the real job, the one that you really, really want. And this is really I would say the core of this is make sure that you use every single tool that's out there. And as I said, you need to invest your time and effort into making this all aligned. But yes, in order to succeed, you need to invest your time in it. And I wanted to also share with you this next one. This next tip, which is use open doors. And perhaps this sounds counterintuitive because we're often told, fight hard, push for, take the road less taken, or whatever that expression is. It's like fight hard, do this. Yes. And yes, you should. Because the ideal and big goals are important. I agree. But sometimes we're so focused on what we want as a ideal and how we envision ourselves as a CEO, or maybe as a whatever six-figure salary target, that we maybe ignore alternatives and other opportunities. So here the idea is, why push through the closed or the open door when you can, to the closed or locked door when you can use the open door? And what do I mean with open doors? I mean, sometimes there are things like maybe at university or maybe at a job that you have, that you already are it. There is maybe a career there, something posted, an opportunity, a project, and perhaps it's not exactly how you envisioned, but it can maybe lead to something else. It's a stepping stone. It's a small victory, and it is out there. So a training, like internal training, or it is a road that leads you to a end goal. So let's say potentially your job, you want to be a management position in Google or Amazon. It's fine. But perhaps there is a subcontractor that works for Amazon that's hiring. Again, you need to do your research. You need to have your arms ready. And this is maybe a easier way to get towards what you want. So that's what I mean with use open doors and stepping stones. And this last tip I would like to share with you is network. And network is, for some people, a bad word. When you say to them network, they're like, oh, it's a scary word. But let's maybe analyze what it really can mean. And what I would like to share with you first is that your network is much, much bigger than you actually think it is. Okay, you're currently maybe in college, but even if you left, think about your friends from college, or maybe the friends from German class or whatever, English class you took, your neighbors, your families, your friends from your hobbies, so from football, rowing, Zumba, etc. All of those people are technically in your network. And not only them, their friends are also in your network. If you spread out that you are looking for something, and if you spread it far away, you would be very surprised how sometimes universe comes to answer this to you, not because it's mysterious, it's universe. It's just because it's people, the network. People want to help you if they can, However, you need to make it easy for them to help you. You have to do all the legwork and you have to do the preparations. And when you ask them for a favor, ask them for something that will just take them 30 seconds. So you ask them, oh, by the way, I saw on LinkedIn that a colleague from your department, whatever, John Smith, is doing something very interesting that interests me as well. And maybe you can put me in touch with him. That's easy. That's 30 seconds on LinkedIn or on email. I would like to learn or maybe shadow this project. Or because at the end, people in essence are altruistic. They want to help you, but we all know how limited everybody is with their own schedules. You want to, yeah, they want to, you have to make it easy for them to help you. And I have to put this out there for you is put yourself out there and volunteer. And this is a very simple truth for us who've been in the corporate world for a while. If you just sit at your desk, sitting, typing, doing your job, nobody will discover you. Because you need to stand out in order to be discovered, to be visible. If you have to somehow make the people remember you. So if there is a volunteer asked who needs to organize a company picnic, you say yes. If they're saying, oh, I need somebody to help organize this mentoring or maybe be a mentor, you don't have to know all the answers. You'll figure it out. Just say yes. Google knows it all. There's YouTube video on everything. You'll figure it out. Share your knowledge if you have in one of those sessions here on the topic that you're passionate about. Organize something for a team. Make yourself visible and show that you have initiative. This is what is really needed for you to be able to use your network to the best of the possibility. So to recap, to own and drive your career with effective communication, you need to own it. You need to accept that this is a priority. Make yourself priority. Say me.incorporated. Ksenija Prekovic.incorporated. I am important to me. I am going to be as important as the company I work for, and I'm going to take it seriously. And then know yourself. Think about what makes you happy, what motivates you, what's a burn behind you that's going to make you happy. Go to your work and do 100%. And then arm yourself to the teeth and try to get one of those positions that you are really passionate about. In doing so, perhaps it won't open immediately that door you want. But use an open door that's out there. Use the stuff that you have access to, and use it to climb the ladder and get to where you want to be. And don't forget to, while you are out there, rely on your friends and your family and everybody else that you can think of. The people in EIT network, why not? We're here. Absolutely. But make sure that you network. Okay? So those have been my 2 cents, or I would say 5 cents. And I would like to hear now from you, of all of these, which one do you think you will be, if we maybe can show the poll, which one do you
Yes,
think? Yeah,
we can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Which one of these 5 is the hardest for you to work on?
So you can already see it in your poll section, and I'm really looking forward on what do you think.
Yeah, I'm also curious. Because you guys surprised me. Yeah, you guys surprised me by your choice of career. So perhaps you're gonna just surprise me here as well.
Okay. So I can see only 2 options. Maybe I voted for these 2 options. That is why I can see them. But we'll see what are the answers. Oh, nice. Okay. I see that it's selected by me. So the only selection is appearing. So there's no.
It says here creator didn't share the results.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Nope. I only.
Oh, no. We are waiting for the results. Okay.
Yeah. No, it says it's closed, but you didn't. The creator hasn't shared the results.
Okay.
I think we'll just have to. You're purposely keeping us in suspense here, Jid. You're like, yeah.
Just give us a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it did not work because the polls were shared and we got the answers too, but the results are not shared.
Yeah. I think we'll just have to live in mystery with this one.
No, we got it in the chat section.
We got it.
Yes. Wow, 46% of all of our audiences voted for networking. And oh boy, I do believe in that.
As I said, I'm not surprised because this time you didn't surprise me. That's a scary word for lots of people. It is something that it takes a while to practice, I think. But if I may leave you on to first of all saying thank you. This is my LinkedIn profile. If you would like to stay in touch, if you have questions for me later on. But first of all, I would like to tell you that scary networking thing is, well, congratulations. You've already done a first step. You're already here. You are networking. So just continue to do so. This you've already taken a first step to there. And remember, as I said, stepping stone and open doors. Think about it as, there is a reason why people call this a career ladder. And sometimes the road from A to B leads to A1 and A2, and that's fine. As long as you're moving in the right direction, this is good. Yeah. Practice makes perfect. You need to practice networking. You need to practice your elevator speech and everything else in between. Your interview, your every single thing, and even feedback. Listening to the feedback for the first time you hear it, it's not easy. But when you hear it for the third or fourth time, you kind of, it starts to perhaps absorb easier. And remember, you are your own career manager. Me.incorporated. This is who you should be focusing on. KsenijaPrekovic.com. Of all the people who are in this career, I am the one responsible for my own career. There isn't anybody else who can do this for me. One more time, thank you, and over to you, Jid.
Thank you so much. So I would take the same slide because I want to still bring it up since there is the QR code present from your LinkedIn profile, and I would invite everybody who are interested in making a connection with her. You can please scan the QR code and connect with Ksenia. I mean, it was a wonderful session. I was really learning a lot. And at some points, I was also feeling that, oh my God, why I did not have this session before? Because for me, the takeaway points were the elevator pitch, definitely. I learned it at a very later stage in my application phase when I was switching from academia to industry, that elevator speech is so important. And I think one of the questions which we will address through is also on how long an elevator speech should be and what should be in the elevator speech. So maybe I could also answer that when we have the question in front of us. And again, when you came to your fifth part, it was about networking. This is something that I learned as a lesson that every one person you connect with will open three more connections for you. So this has been a reality for myself, and I was always keeping my social media profile on track. But this only happened while I was applying, while I was making myself ready to apply for a position. It never came on in the previous areas. So now that you have told me that you have to be really very sensible enough about your visual presence on social media, so I'm going to take that as a really good tip and maybe delete all the bad stuff from my social media accounts. So thank you so much for this.
You're
And
welcome. Or just keep them, share them with your friends. That's okay too. But make sure what it's not friends of a friend.
of course, yeah. Thanks a lot for this. And before moving on to the Q&A segment, I wanted to present the QR code, which links to our feedback survey form. So I give you a few seconds to scan it. And of course, we are looking forward to know how you're finding these amazing series on female leadership. And your feedback will really motivate us in making brilliant content like this in future. And you can also see the feedback for the webinar in the chat section. So there's a link provided in that. So I can also move on forward now. So the awesome time comes, Q&As, and I was looking at a lot of questions which are really interesting, and I really look forward to Senia how you address them. Maybe I can pitch in for a few. So can we have the questions, please?
Okay. Okay, so let's start with the how ideal is an elevator pitch. How long it should be. Jid, you said you have some thoughts on it. Why don't you share with us? Maybe
Of course.
yeah.
Yeah. So this question was really eye-catching for me because my application process lasted for at least 3 to 4 months, and only at month two that I began making an elevator pitch. And it's nothing major thing. It's just selling yourself, advertising yourself. And what I did as a part of an elevator pitch was making a two-slider a deck, a PPT presentation of myself, how my journey has been so far. What did I do, where I belong from, what I was achieving in my academic career stage, and what I want to do. And when you said that you have to research in the position that you want to be in, right? So when I was applying for my job, I would always research the company, and I would always look at the job description and take out the keywords from this job description and align myself to those so that I could present myself in such scenarios that could be beneficial for the company's job description. Or the tasks that company was presenting in the job description. So this was the things that I did, but only in two-slider. I never went beyond 2 slides. So this is how I made my elevator speech. But what are you saying, Senia?
I think this is good. I think this is what you're saying. They're all right strategies. This is, no question about it. What you said: research the company, but even more research the position that you are when you are invited for a job, because they will also pick it up last minute and check it out and say, okay, well, the person needs to be this and this and this. So you need to be able to hint already in the answers, even when they are not asking you. Remember, every time whatever they're asking you, please persuade us. Please make our life easier. Persuade us that you are the right person for this job, and we don't have to interview anybody else. Yeah, this is what the people on the other side of the table are really
Yeah.
thinking. They're like, I don't want to see any more people. I really want you to work, because that would save me time and effort, and I can go and deal with something else. So they want you to help them, to help them persuade you. So what you said: analyze the CV, a job description, highlight the most important things, and think about an examples. I would say maybe the next one is examples, because they will tell me about the time when you had to conflict manage, or give me an example where you had if there is something about projects, give me an example where you were late on a project. And your example, I'm sure you have to listen. We all worked on projects which are late, but for you to to think of at the very moment the best example, maybe if you had 5 minutes to think of, you would do better. And that's why I said practice. So this is all great for the job interview, but for the elevator pitch is something else. Elevator pitch is that first slide that you shared about me. Hello, my name is Ksenija Prekovic. I lived and worked on 3 continents, and I bring experience from multicultural environments. I am a behavioral analyst, I am a project manager, and I am a talent development expert. This is it. It needs to be 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Who you are in core. If you are trying to do something which is not directly related to any of the things that you are currently, but you want to be something else, then you need to tweak it. But again, it needs to be 2 or 3 minutes. Why you are trying to get that position, what skills you bring, why you're right for that position.
Of course. And then we have another question, which is mostly about what are the social media platforms to be present visually for professional means besides LinkedIn. And you were right, Kenya, that LinkedIn is international and Zing is like national one. And I would also encourage people to search a little bit on Google what in their country is a website which does social media using social media profiling for professionalism, for building professional relationships.
And I would also say, if you have if there are a certain, if you're interested in certain careers where they're kind of niche, there could be a small groups that are kind of almost like a syndicates of unions of that. So I know, for example, my husband works in media, in videography, and they have their own networks, which are, they use LinkedIn as a wide professional network, but really to communicate with themselves, they have their own networks. So this is again, I would say LinkedIn and Xing in Germany, but do a little research. What would be applicable for your own career? That may depend on the industry that you are interested in.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have to say, hold on, Jit. Yeah, we have to say EID is a great place to network and make your connections.
Yes. A tip that I found out while I was using professional platforms is there are also these web tools where you can build your profile for professional visualization. So I came across a link called Smarter where you can make your profile. It's basically uploading your CV there, but it gives you a very nice visual presentation of yourself. So something that you can use of. Well, I can move further with a question from one of our participants where she mentions Fake it till you make it is a usual business tip to achieving career as you wish. So, where would you say stands the balance between what's fake and what's real?
This is such a woman question, and I have to say this because we are in the female leadership series. There is a lot of research. What women understand is what knowledge women need to have to feel that they are expert in the field, so they are no longer faking, and what percentage of knowledge men have to have in order to be in the same position to feel they're expert and they know enough. And needless to say, the difference is huge. It's like men, after knowing 10%, are already confident they're okay. And women we are somehow raised more culturally to be a little bit more perfectionist, that, to make sure that we have to know all the answers. And I would say um, here the answer is you're not faking it if you say, I don't know, and I need a little bit of time to research. Let me get back to you. And that's perfectly valid answer. You don't always have to know everything 100%.
Yeah.
You can just take on you the job to come with an answer, and that's perfectly okay. So where is the balance between fake it and true? I would say think where are you comfortable at, and that's not a good spot. If you are comfortable at, you're not challenging yourself, then take it one step further. So this is I think a little bit, the next question also talks about volunteering. It's like, do I volunteer? I don't know how to do this. I've never organized a company picnic for 3,000 people or 300 people or whatever. I don't speak German well enough, or I don't speak French well enough if I live in France to do this. That's fine. It's okay. It's okay to fail. It's okay not to deliver 100%. In business, we say 80% is good enough. 80% is already good. So I think that would be that would be my 2 cents on it, on both of those. Do you volunteer on everything? Well, don't, because simply you cannot then deliver. You don't want to volunteer, and then you don't want to get a reputation in an organization that you don't deliver. That's definitely not something, that's not going to work in your favor at all, in order to build your career. But think about what, where you're comfortable, and maybe take it one step higher, maybe not 5, but one, just because I think this is typical. We've all learned is in like also in psychology, they say, as long as you're in comfort zone, you're not learning.
Yeah.
If you are taking only the jobs that you are very comfortable with, that you've already done and you know all the answers, well, that's fine, that's okay. But for you are not learning, you're not growing, and you're not pushing yourself to do better.
Exactly. I completely agree with you. We have one more question and also 4 minutes left. So, what advice would you give to someone who just finished college? Where do you start your career if you have no experience? And maybe I can start with it. You can, and this question relates to the previous question's answer. You can start at any point. If you are not experienced, start volunteering. Start volunteering, start engaging, open your network, get to know more people, and after getting to knowing these people, you can also start interfering in what they are doing, what their activities that they are pursuing. In my pursuit, I was always following people in the position that I wanted to be in, and I asked them how did they pursue their success ladder, and the courses that they took, and this is how I was making my choices, where I could involve or indulge in.
Mm.
Do you have a comment on this?
I do, and I have some very fresh experience. I actually have 3 nieces that are all in the process of either got their first job last year or in the process of getting their first job. So I have some first-hand experience of giving the advice on this topic. And what I've seen that they have even the jobs that they have done, or like summer jobs or volunteer or something, they just discount it as not important. They don't mention it. It's like I had to remind them. I was like, didn't you volunteer, like didn't you work for 3 summers? I was like in the in the whatever cousins in a cousin's company for 3 summers. I said, yeah, but that was cousin's company. But I mean, it's work experience. It's like it's work experience. Did you do something there? Of course you did something. Well, it's like put it out there. Like write everything. You've done summer jobs. You've done summer jobs. You have let's say, for example, you have done you were very involved in sports, and maybe you competed in sports, or maybe got a scholarship based on sports. Companies love seeing those kind of stuff, because for them sports means team player means good team player in the work environment, potentially maybe even like if you're a captain or a leader or something like that. So think about that. Think about the experience you've done at school. Maybe you organized, again, I'm going to go with picnics. Yeah, I should have had a little snack before I started this, because I keep on talking about picnics. But maybe you've organized some get together. You think about, how this what you've done can be later transferred for work.
Of course.
And
Thank you, Ksenia. It was really good, and it was also a good round of Q&A. And I'm sure that all the unanswered questions, and of course, if people want to have more relationship building to do with Ksenia, they can reach out to you in our networking session. But again, if there's a Q-tip, actually, a quick tip here, that if you want, you can also join at our EIT Health Innovators platform and put it in your LinkedIn as a quick step. So, and there was a link for Ksenia as well. So you could have joined her, and now you can also talk to her on our online networking session, which takes place after the end of this webinar. So thank you all again for being so active on this cold Thursday evening and staying with us till the end. So this female leadership series is brought to you by EIT Health Innovators Community and EIT Women. So if you want to know more about this community and also want to become a volunteer yourself, then you please feel free to visit the website and or get in touch with us for more information. So there's something more. We are already excited to share that coming up next is an episode entitled Shattering the Glass Ceiling, Lessons from Our Pioneers, where our guest speaker, Leila Maiden, will get you ready to take on the workplace challenge and to get the role that you are deserving. So she's an IT specialist by training, but now is a serial entrepreneur. She has founded a company that develops innovative solutions to facilitate the education to work transition. And this fourth episode will be hosted by our very own EIT Health Innovators Community local rep, Hanan Keel. So please do visit the website and register yourself. Please, here, the main thing is to note the date. Due to the Christmas break in between, the next episode will take place on the 26th of Jan. And lastly, lastly, thank you everybody. This brings me to the end of my seminar or my webinar today. And I thank Ksenia so much for your time and for your valuable experience that you have shared with us. You have given the key tips on communicating effectively, which is so helpful. I'm really thankful. So now you have a one-on-one opportunity to network with our speaker, Ksenia, in the chat rooms. As soon as you see this, so the webinar ends, you will be able to see a window that pops up, and you can click at that option says online networking, and then I can get to see you in the chat rooms too. So thank you again, everybody, and sorry for 1 minute delay. But
Jed, this is so German of you. You're apologizing for 1 minute, yeah?
yeah.
Thank
But
you
great.
all. It was a pleasure.
And see you on the other side.
Yeah, see you on the other side. Yeah, if you have any questions, please join us afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Visit community.eithealth.eu to join our community and shape the healthcare landscape with us. For more such videos, subscribe to our channel.